She thinks we can't see her. And she disappeared. What's going on, everybody? So welcome back to iJevin's Patreon server. Right now we are standing on top of the base overlooking the Valley of the Village. I'm not quite sure what to call it, but I think that has a nice ring to it. So if you guys remember in the last video I posted, I was talking about how I had this big old mega build that I'm working on, and it had a bunch of different steps that I needed to do. The first step was I needed to gather an absurd amount of sand and gravel to make concrete, which, as you can see, I have clearly done. So with that out of the way, the next part of it is we needed to get a reliable source of ink. Now there are a couple different ways we can do that, but the best way that I found was to drain a river and make a squid farm. So now with the river drained and the spot taken out that we needed to use, it's time to get started on the design. So I have a bunch of materials here. I'm not even sure if that's going to be everything we need or not, but it's a good thing to get started with. So let's head over there. We'll see you in a second. Alright, so here we are at the location of where the ink farm is going to be. So this right here is going to be the farm, and then this right here is going to be some kind of building type thing. Anyway, so we got a couple steps that we're going to need to do before we get this thing up and running. So the first step we're going to have to figure out is the rough footprint of everything, and that is going to be the locations of everything, where the storage is going to be, where the entrance is going to be, where the AFK area is going to be, item transportation, all that stuff. We got to figure all that out before we start building. Once we figure that out, the first thing I'm going to build is the item transportation. How to get all of the ink from here to wherever we're putting the storage area. Once we get that done, we can go ahead and build the storage area, the AFK, the entrance, and all that good stuff. After that is done, the next thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be making this look a lot better. And what we're going to do there is we're going to replace all of this with stone brick. This is going to be a nice glass area right here, and then we're going to just make everything else look pretty. Once we get that done, then it's time to build the actual farm. I know it sounds great. And then once we get the farm built, it's time to do the remaining aesthetics, such as like the exterior of the farm, blending it into the surroundings, and removing all of that sand. That is going to be fun. Once all that's done, we test the farm, make sure it works. Once it's working, we AFK and get all the ink. So like I just said, the first step that we need to do is we need to figure out where everything's going to go. So this is a nice little cove thing. I don't know what to call it. But this looks like a good area to put the chests. So I think what we're going to do is everything can go this way, come up right here, and then chests. Obviously they're going to be too wide, so maybe what we can do is that. For symmetry. Yep, I like that. Okay. And then obviously the AFK room has to go somewhere over here. So let us dig this out. And then we'll clear this out to give it a nice level area. Alright, so we got the floor all nice and level, and I think this is going to be a nice place for an entrance since it is already kind of steppy. Alright, so that'll be the entrance. We'll remove this. We're going to need to remove this sand as well, because there's going to be hoppers right here. Yeah. Okay. We're going to need to take that down to there. Clear this out. And then probably that. Actually, we'll go back one more. Oh, look. Well, that'd be a little easier. Do I have any torches on me? No. Okay. So we got that done. Let's fill this in real quick. And we'll have to go back and do the walls and everything on this side. But gotta figure out where everything is going first. So I don't like how this is so far back. We're not gonna need that many chests. So what, maybe, like if the stairs are gonna come down to right here. So maybe we can go... So this will be a log, and this will be a log. So maybe we can just do this. And then this will be the window. Okay, yes, let's do that. That makes it a little bit smaller. We don't need it huge. This isn't going to be a farm that produces a ridiculous amount of ink. So, we don't... Didn't that fall down? No. So we don't need a lot of chests. So, alright. We got that done, so we need to put the floor down. These actually need to come up. So let's get the floor down. Just our standard oak. Come on. There we go. Got the floor done, so now we need to do, we might as well be able to just do this wall here. Okay, so we got that done. So we'll have to come back with the stairs because I don't think I have any oak on blocks on me for some reason. No, I don't. Okay, so we'll have to come back to that part, but we'll do that in another step. So we got the storage done. We need to put those hoppers on. And we are also going to need to change something. This won't be seen. Fail. So, because that's going to be a water stream that takes the items in. Put that there, put that there. Now the only thing I'm worried about, what we may do is, I'm going to try to figure out the transportation, because that is our next step. So how can we do this? What we might do is just run a hopper line here, and then the items will fall into that. But how do we get it to where it kind of distributes it? I mean, it doesn't really have to distribute it evenly. When we put an item in, it's either going to go to here and down, or it'll pull right down here. And it pulled right down here. So now if these are full, it'll just keep going down until it's got room. Yes, that works. First we need to go down and build the item elevator. No, jump, jump, jump. Okay. First we need to sleep. Okay. So for the item elevator, I did not bring a bucket with me. But I did bring ice. So we need 1 ice. Do we really need packed ice? Yeah, we'll take a little bit of packed ice with us. So we'll need all of this. These can go in here. We're going to need... You know what? We might as well just bring this whole box. So, you, we don't need. None of this we need. We don't need you. We don't need that. We don't need that. This we do need. And then we can just bring this whole box with us. We don't need that either. Because this is going to be all of the bottom. Alright, so we got the water stream, or water elevator rather, all built. Be careful not to destroy those blocks. So this we could fill in. Just to make sure it works, we're going to chuck, let's put all 40 of those in there. Alright, that's all 40. So we got that done. So the next thing is we need to get all of the hoppers placed. And then on top of that, we need to place the slabs. So let us get this done. Alright, so we're back, and as you can see, We have all the slabs laid down. Underneath those slabs are the hoppers. The water elevator is in here. It is set. It is working. So that is step number 2 that we can eliminate. So the next step is going to be to build. So we partially got this started already. So the next thing, we basically just got to finish it. And I think what I'm going to do is line the top with these stairs. Here's somebody walking around. Guess it's just me. And are we going to keep that? Yeah. Alright, so then what we need to do is this is all going to have to go. So let's remove all these walls so we can put our own in. I'm going to stand it, yep. So let's stand that out of the way. We don't want to be crushed, because that has happened before, and I'm sure it'll happen again. Alright, so welcome back to the ink farm. So as you can see, we have the storage area, the chests, and the AFK area all completed. Even the hopper lines and the item transportation. It's all completed. So the next thing we need to do is we need to tear all of this out and replace it with stone brick. Why? Because I want to. So let me take care of that, and I'll be right back. Alright, so we are back here after we replaced all of these blocks with stone brick, and I gotta say, looks a lot better already. So now what we gotta do is we gotta go through and we have to place all of these fences and all of these signs. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. So again, like I said, I'm going off of design that iLLmango came up with, and in this design he uses, sorry, gotta eat. He uses these fences here to create like a 1x1 little chamber. So basically that's one, and then we're gonna need to surround it on all 4 sides here with fences. And then basically we just gotta keep going up. Sounds fun. I probably should have brought water. And I don't have my rockets. So we will just kind of shimmy on up, and then we'll just shimmy right back down. So this is going to take quite some time to accomplish. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and complete this, and then I'll come back and we'll see if the farm works. So we'll see you guys in a little bit. Alright guys, so we are back after many failed attempts of building the ink farm. We now have a working ink farm. Well, where is it, you say? It's right here. Same place it was. Just, I went ahead and started on the blend. Come on, fences. I went ahead and started on the blending step. So, it's not the most efficient farm, and the only reason is because this is a paper server and not straight vanilla. So, funny story actually. I had to rebuild this thing about 3 times. 3rd time is a charm. And so what happened was, when I first started talking about the project, I said I was going to be following iLLmango's design. Well, iLLmango built his farm in 1.13. We are running 1.13.2. And I guess spawning mechanics changed. because squid weren't spawning, like, at all. Like, I had 0 spawns the first time I built it. So I thought, okay, well, not a big deal. I will look up another one. So I looked up another design, and the one I saw was Exumavoid, or however you say his name. I'm sure I'm butchering it. But anyway, so I looked up his design, the one he built, on Hermitcraft. So I thought to myself, alright, well, this one should work. So, you know, I'll build that one. So I tore down El Mango's design, looked up how, you know, X built his farm, and then I built it. Well, got it all built, stayed AFK for about 4 hours. Nothing. Not a single squid spawned. So that got me, you know, a little ticked off. Not at crap. That's not, yeah, okay. Anyway, I have plenty of items to fix that. But anyway, so like I wasn't mad at X or anything like that. Like obviously it's not his fault my farm didn't work. But I figured I'll try one more time, and if I couldn't get it this one more time, then I was just going to give up. Well, the next person I looked at was Pixlriff, because I remember I saw that he had a farm. So I decided to try his version. And his version, while it is easy, it is very time-consuming and tedious. Like, beyond time-consuming. So anyway, I set out, and I swear I just put steps in here. Well, these will go in. So I got all the necessary supplies, I gathered everything I was going to need, and I started working on the farm. It took about almost 7 hours to make that farm. Because like I said, it was easy, but it was also very time consuming. And I mean very time consuming. Like there's 5 rows of the farm. Each, well, if I say 5 sections, each section has 3 rows to it. A row of fences and 2 rows, or sorry, a row of signs and 2 rows of fences. Every, like, other row, column, whatever you would call it, it was alternating. Like, there was the row of signs that covered, you know, the bottom section, and then on top of that, in like a checkerboard crisscross pattern, the fence gates were there. Well, in between the checkered pattern of the fence gates, there needed to be water flowing down in each and every section. Yeah. So it took a long time. Again, it wasn't a complicated procedure, it was just a very time-consuming procedure. So like I said, I think it ended up taking me about 6 hours total from start to finish in the farm. Which, you know, in retrospect isn't horrible, considering, you know, some of the farms that are possible, you know, is one of the simpler farms. But anyway, so I AFK'd for around 2 hours, and then I ended up getting like about a stack and a half of ink. So now I'm going to link Pixlriff's video in the description, so you guys, obviously, if you want to build it, you can. And it's up here. And in that video, he says that he gets a ridiculous amount of drops. Well, again, we're running on a paper server and not a regular Minecraft server, so it nerfs the spawns a little bit, and plus, I'm hardly ever the only one online. So that's another thing, you know? Because I think there's 2 or 3 people on the server that have, we're going to go put this all back down in the build, that have their bases near oceans where squids can spawn. So the game's got to balance out all those spawns, and it's just like any other multiplayer server. The game's got to, be able to spawn everywhere, not just one person. So it makes things a little bit more difficult. And of course I picked the empty one. Actually, first we're going to go over to the smelter, because that sand is going to get turned into glass. So let me head over there real quick. It's right over here. So another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about real quick is, well, what is this? Oh, this must be, yeah, okay. That's really awesome. So anyway, we've got to come over here to Super Smelter. So one thing I wanted to talk about is 1.14 is out as of yesterday. So like I said, we are on iJevin's Patreon server, and he has said that we are not upgrading right away. And if you've watched pretty much anybody, you'll see that it is extremely buggy, to say the least. So he was saying that he wants to wait until there is a more stable version of the game before we update, which is a good thing, because that gives us time to rebuild all of the farms, because I'm not going to put a choker for one item there, because in 1.14 those are going to break. The villager mechanics have completely changed. Now, of course, there are already people up that have 1.14 villager farms, so all I'll have to do is just watch those and rebuild them. Now, as far as the villager breeders, I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know, honestly. So it's going to be one of those things that's just going to be a trial and error. So anyway, that is going to do it for this video. We accomplished getting a working iron farm. We didn't even do an iron farm, did we? We did an ink farm. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time.